little bit of hogwash because I want to see some of these hogs defend the tariffs, okay?
I wish more people knew what kind of freedom that's going to give the American people.
Woo!
President Trump is trying to use these tariffs to get rid of taxes. And I'm telling you guys, he is very smart. That's how the country was ran before taxes.
I like that this is somehow good for her. Like in her mind, she thinks this is good for her. Oh my God, we are so stupid. Oh my God. The scariest part of the complete collapse of the global economy outside of all of that is the idea that Donald Trump is going to somehow make up a shortfall for gutting income taxes in its entirety, okay, which is like the last remaining progressive form of taxation that doesn't overwhelmingly burden individuals in the working poor, in the working class, as opposed to the wealthiest people in society. That's the one type of progressive taxation that remains, and it's already far too little in comparison to what it should be at, okay? And these people are going, hell yeah, no more taxes. It's going to be so much better. It's like, listen to me very carefully, okay? Tariffs will not be able to make up for the lack of income taxes. Part of the reason why it won't be able to is because, let's say, 30% of your salary is back in your pocket, okay? None of the programs that it funds at the state level will exist anymore. How do you build the roads? How do you pay for the school? How do you pay for anything? What are you saying? What do? We just Ancapistan? Like, what the are you guys saying? Even if you're like an MMT guy on the federal level, like, what are we doing in state level? Where so much of those taxes go back directly to that you are consuming, using all the public resources that you take advantage of that you think are magically there, but they're not magically there. You're funding it. So I guess we're just nuking America. Like, I don't know. We're doing nukes. We're BDSing ourselves. We're doing boycott, divestment, and sanctions from the United States of America. What to ourselves is Benny Johnson saying about these tariffs? Let's take a look.
Nothing. This is just the reality of life. You're gonna, like, were you young and dumb? How much money did you lose? Everyone loses money. Everyone loses money. It costs you nothing. In fact, it builds quite a bit of character. In fact,
ain't no way he's doing the raise the price of rent. That'll just make me grind harder. Has he been crying? What is happening? Bro.
Losing your character costs you everything. Losing your country costs you everything. There are things you can't get back. The government can print more money, and it will. Sadly, that's just the reality. It's fugazi. It's just so there's a boom and a bust every 10 years, and it's been that way since the invention of modern markets in the 1600s. The Dutch crash of 1649. You ever heard of it? It's just the way that it works. It's the way that, like, monetary policy has always worked. There's going to be ups and downs, especially as the table.
Oh my God. Yeah, look at the Great Depression. It just happens and it's fine and it's okay. You shouldn't say that unimaginable pain that comes out of that is anything but a character building moment. It's just simply an opportunity for you to learn how to make water soup. That builds character. Ketchup sandwiches, a character building hyperinflation, period of hyperinflation incoming, a entire generation of war veterans that have no jobs, okay, and no economic prospects, the erosion of due process and other civil liberties, a process in which you are expeditiously denaturalizing and removing people from their citizenship status. Welcome back, Adolf Hitler. This is what's going on, okay? Welcome back, zestier Adolf Hitler. Straight up. Hitler was zesty. Yeah, I'm saying Hitler was zesty. Trump is even zestier. Look at the other side of the Republican Party who hasn't forgotten who pays their checks. Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is having a moment where he will go back to his classical liberal ways, okay? Ben Shapiro has not forgotten where his bread is buttered, and he is also ideologically consistent, and he's not going to play catch-up and try to defend Donald Trump's indefensible policies, at least now. He will in a couple months. He will. But for the time being, he's going to be like, this is stupid. This is incredibly dumb. I hate it. And the reason why he's doing that is because he is a real free trade guy. He does believe in it. Just like the Rand Pauls of the world believe in it. Just like the former Republican Party actively believed in it and defended these policies because they understood that this was truly beneficial for the capital owning class, even if it completely gutted the American manufacturing capabilities, the American labor force. It was fine because profits were sky high. Profits were sky high, and they never thought that China would be able to take advantage of the situation with redistributive policies, with even development, with rapid expansion, with rapid urbanization. They never thought that China would be able to improve its material realities and not only be a competitive force, but one that could even dominate the United States of America in the global marketplace. That is precisely the reason why these guys entertain the notion of moving manufacturing overseas, specifically to China, the Genghis Gambit, without little care or consideration for what that might do to the United States of America, because they never gave a shit about their country.
It was, in fact, Liberation Day. His giant tariff policy that he just dropped on the market unilaterally, probably unconstitutionally. Trump's reciprocal tariffs imposed hundreds of billions of dollars in new taxes on Americans, be the largest tax increase since the Revenue Act of 1968. One of the biggest tax increases on American consumers in the history of America. And it's going to cost American consumers. It will cost American producers who use inputs from other countries. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted immediately more than 1,000 points. The S&P 500 plummeted more than 3%. The NASDAQ plummeted almost 4.5%. There are real-world implications for this sort of stuff. Trade wars are, in fact, not good and not easy to win, particularly if you don't actually have a plan. It is predicated on a bad idea of how international trade works. A fundamental misunderstanding of trade deficits. Trade deficits they're an accounting procedure. Trade deficits have pretty much nothing to do with the health of an economy. I can name you a period in American history where there was a fairly large surplus in America's balance of trade. The entire Great Depression.
Bro got 99% tariff on wet pussy. Oh, no. Oh, that's insane. That's an insane statement, chatter. It's correct, but you shouldn't say it.